What is up, you guys? Out of this world entertainment here, where we wish Halloween can come a little bit faster. But you know what? It's August, so let's just get into the Halloween spirit. I'm your host, Tyler Alanis.
Chris Garcia, bitch.
Anyway, yeah, so this episode is about Midsummer Scream. That's why we're celebrating Halloween early, so that way we could talk about the event. Oh my god, and this is my first year actually, and I was a bit excited. Chris, I think you've been to this convention before.
Yeah, that's correct. Except I went there by myself. I'm not going to get into details, but this was my second time here. So I'm glad you came along. I'm glad you had fun.
Oh yeah, it was terrific. I loved all the decorations that they did. Well, not like on the ceilings or anything like that, just like on the booths. And then there was like one section that was like the dark area. They really decorated that so well. I was like really into the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah, man, totally. It was pretty much just going through all the theme park Halloween events like Universal, Warner Brothers, Six Flags, in one big ballroom, the convention. We'll get into details of whether there were some good pros and cons basically about that. But continue, Tyler.
Okay. First off, Chris, next time when I hand you the microphone, just take it. I'm not going to be holding it for you like a stand. What am I, a prop?
Yes, you are.
Uh-huh, he said, well, yes, you are. He's old. Yeah, whatever. Okay, let's just get started. Anyway, before we entered the place, this place was very high secured. Like, there was like so much security going all around. They have metal detectors. I have never been to a convention where they actually had metal detectors, like, there. Like, how many years have I been going to Comic-Con? I would say years and years, and then all of a sudden, boom, metal detector. Why? Because they don't want weapons in there. And I can probably know the reason why.
Yeah, you know the feeling nowadays when you walk, try to get inside Disneyland or downtown Disney or even California? It's pretty much like that, but in a, not Comic-Con, but yeah, every other convention places, really. Man, I did not feel the same way you did when you saw those metal detectors. But then again, with weapons policy, they're just a little more stricter. You can bring in weapons, but obviously they have to be fake. And they still have to check them, too, even though it's just like a rubber sword or whatnot.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I think it's because of the Punisher shooting. That's what everybody's calling it from last year, if you remember.
I vaguely remember, but every year, every day, it's just the shootings always happen in some spots, especially the schools, tragically.
Yeah, ever since the Punisher shooting, like, someone was like, the Punisher, I'm putting in parentheses or in quotes, and someone was trying to kill Jason David Frank. Thank God, like, that person didn't kill him because he's still doing well. He's still going out to conventions and, like, doing signings and all that. And I think they're just kind of a little bit strict on this weapons policy now because of that shooting.
That's true. Well, you want, on a side note, even though we're not going to be able to go to Anaheim for Morphicon this year, it'd be kind of funny when we walk over to Jason David Frank and ask him, so, how's it like, almost being shot by a real bullet and not get sparks coming out of your body? I'm bad.
Oh my god. You realize he'll kick your ass for that?
Yes, but it'll be kind of worth it.
Sabrina Lou, if you're listening to this, take me with you. If the reason I'm saying this because she is technically my boss because I work under her. If you don't know who she is, she actually is a Power Ranger villain who plays Scorpina in season 2, episode 29, Goldar's Vista. If you remember that episode, she's the main villain. You can see her like in her human form and all that. She's pretty nice. She's pretty cool. But anyway, let's get to Midsummer Scream. And then when we got inside of the convention, I mean, it was just like the downstairs part, but it was kind of bigger, like when it's more downstairs. I thought last year, I thought they were going to put it like behind the actual convention center, but they had it at the main hall.
I see what you mean. No, it was like that last year, so that was good that they didn't change it for me, because I was expecting every spot, venue, and obviously the entrance to be exactly the same. I didn't know where the panel rooms were before though last year, but thank God we checked out the Elvira panel, and luckily we had some help with knowing where it was too. So yeah, that was helpful. But yeah, we're out. You talk.
Out of words, I see. Before we go into the panels, I want to talk about like the main floor of like which booth that we actually visit. So I want to go with my first one because I'm going to start forgetting all of this, so I might as well just talk about it now. And Chris, you actually introduced me to this booth. It's Girls and Corpses.
Yeah, it was an honor to introduce you to that. But no, honestly, we were just walking down, and I noticed on their booth the magazine, their newest issue of their magazines they do. It's just, and yeah, the main girls wearing bikinis in the magazine. I recognized her from this one horror movie, Piranha 3D, where she gets eaten by piranhas.
Are you sure you weren't just like snooping? You were just kind of like straight on staring into the cover of those women?
What the hell kind of person do you think I am?
A nerdy pervert.
Takes one to know one.
Takes one to know one. Two.
Back on track. I never forget a face, even celebrities. So I just saw it there, and the guy that was hosting it was really chill. He was friendly to talk to, and you gave him your business card too.
Oh yeah, the person that I met, the editor-in-chief and the founder of that magazine, his name is, what was his name again? I haven't written on paper. I got like millions of papers in front of me that we're talking about this event. There's like it's so much going on, but I want to talk about so few. His name is Robert Stephen Ryan. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, like type it on the comments below. But actually in the magazine, he goes by a nickname, which is Corpsey, which is Robert Corpsey Ryan. And I was like, okay, it's pretty good. Like, that's a good nickname to go with. Anyway, I talked to him, and he was really nice. He was really chill. He's very outgoing. He's been doing this for so long, ever since Comic-Con may have first came out, or at least like a little bit after, and that way he can get his build up. But he's really nice. I bought a magazine. He signed it, and I was like, oh, thank you. I'll probably be talking about this back and forth. I gave him a business card. Check us out. And he's actually working on a movie as we speak. It's called Cynthia. And I don't want to give out too many spoilers, but it should say on his website. If you just go to girlsandcorpses.com, there should be a movie poster representing that movie, and there should be some detailed description on it. So I'm not going to be spoiling it for anybody. So go check it out, and check out the magazine as well if you don't know what Girls and Corpses are. And dudes, if you're going to be looking this up, good luck getting off.
You cannot have said that more perverted.
Well, Chris, look at the world right here.
I'm aware of what the world is like. But back on track, what was your second, do you remember what second booth that we walked to that was your favorite?
There's actually another booth that I favorite the most, like not the most, but probably as equal to Girls and Corpses. There was a pirate booth, and I was talking to the gentleman who runs it, who handmade these decorational items, or at least like living room, kitchen sets, and all that. And he did really good, like all different kinds of pirate theme. You could put like a wine bottle in a cannon where they're about to like launch it off. It's pretty cool. There's like a treasure chest with a skull on top of it. Then you can put like some items in there, or your buried treasure. And you know what? I think that was really cool. I was gonna buy something from that booth, and then when he told me the price, I was like, you know what? I'll just probably get it off your website. Is that cool? You have a website? And he was like, yeah, I think I do. Here, have my business card. We exchange business cards, so we kind of talk back and forth now.
Okay, well, that's good, but what makes you think there'll be a difference price range? If it's expensive at his booth, do you really think it'll be less on his website? Not really, dude.
It's like driving a car. Once you pull it off the lot, the increase of the price will go down if you're planning to sell it years later.
Well, that makes sense. Oh, man.
So I don't know how it's different from there to online. It might be the same price. You just gotta pay extra for shipping. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Chris, let's talk about what your favorite booths were at the convention.
I guess you could say that, what are they called? I'm calling it the VHS Museum, where it's right next to that pirate booth. Yeah, that was cool. You couldn't buy it, unfortunately. It was just really there just for looks, but it felt like a nostalgia blockbuster walkthrough kind of thing.
A nostalgia blockbuster museum.
Right. I mean, yeah, we just saw all these old VHS tapes. Of course, the box covers they were packaged in. Just the old cover art. It just brought back some good memories seeing those on the shelf.
Oh, yeah. I saw a guy pick up the box. He was about to take it to the cashier, and then someone just stopped him. And he's like, hey! Put that down now before we tackle you.
Well, poor guy. He could not have... He was probably looking for that video for years, and now he couldn't buy it.
That's why it's called DVD. That's why we have it on DVD now.
Yeah, except if you go to Amoebas, they have a lot more of the VHS tapes over there, and you can buy it to take home with you.
Touche.
You see, you and Alan came with me and the other assholes to Amoebas, so you know what I'm talking about.
He means our friends. Their names are Kevin, John, and Nathan. You're considering them assholes.
Are you just doing this for them to attack me? Is this it?
Si, senor.
Type of Mexican accent. Anyhow, well, there was I always love every kind of art vendor booth they have. The only one I can remember right now was the one that had a Friday the 13th silhouette that you wanted to buy, actually. So that booth was cool.
Oh, yeah. So when me and Chris were looking through the artwork of someone at their booth, we actually across that Friday the 13th painting, and I thought it was pretty cool. And they had different ones too. They had Leatherface, there was Chucky, did I say Friday? Yeah, Friday the 13th. I already said that already. Nightmare on Elm Street,
including the Zelda characters.
Oh yeah, there was Zelda. I don't know. This guy was like on pro, like with every piece of art, and I was absolutely in love with each and every one of them. I actually wanted to buy one, but you know how it goes with money situations.
Definitely, man. Yeah, it's always complicated. Well, I don't know if you call it a booth. I did like in the dark room. One of the sites we saw was the Warner Brothers tour, just doing promotion of their Halloween Spook Fest. So we saw those mannequins of the Nun from the Conjuring movies, and of course Pennywise without the head.
Where was his head? This wasn't in the movie, or was it?
Oh no, he fell down the sewer, or just proves to show the trucking guys forgot the head when taking it out of their truck. Whatever. But in the regular boots, I can't really think of anything specific. I just thought they looked all good. Yeah, they were just all good. Oh, actually. Okay, one more booth I can mention. The the mask Trick or Treat Studios. They do replica of horror movie Mask, and well, in Child's Play's case, they can even do a recreation of Chucky or any other props. Just the fact that I've seen them around in the internet and through Facebook, they do really good details of recreating like the upcoming Halloween Michael Myers mask, or even recreating both. Or no, actually, right now it's just the '90s haunted mask from Goosebumps. That looks really cool. I wish I could buy that. It costs an arm and a leg, obviously. But those are my favorites.
I want to point out another booth that I actually liked was there's costumes and really amazing props that you could use for like Halloween. I don't know if they were officially selling them. I saw some price tags on it, but only for through certain ones. I was like, gotta get this, gotta get this, gotta get that. Oh, that's how much it was? Take it back.
That's what I would be like too.
And there was one interesting mask that I liked, and you actually pointed this out, was the Swamp Thing mask.
Oh yeah. That was my favorite too. There were two of them. I think I liked the mask number 1. It was all green.
Yeah, there was that one, and then there was like a much more darker, more browner mixed color with it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Would you have gone in that mask?
Yeah, I definitely would. Like, if that would be like a good cosplay to do, I would definitely take that mask right there and then. But you know what? I think we're just a little financially low right now.
True. But in that same area, I did like the Scarecrow costumes they had. That looked cool. That could have been really good for me to be the Batman Scarecrow. I didn't see the price tags closely, but I figured like everything else, it was just not going to fit my price range ratio.
Or you just don't have a place in your room to stock the item.
No, I have the place. I just don't have the money for that.
Okay. Another thing I want to point out, this is not like a booth, but it's like more of like a small exhibit. It's like the Frankenstein booth, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like just walking through that small section, you see like a little performance right there, and I was like, oh my god, this is so intense. This is so real.
I know, and Universal, since they changed the House of Horrors to Walking Dead, it felt good to see that acting scene of Frankenstein's lab.
Yeah, and these actors were actually like volunteers of the convention. I started noticing that, but they actually did a really good job. I loved how they performed, and I hope they do it again someday. He's yawning. Yawn.
Well, hey, there's always next year or some other horror event. If not in California, definitely different states. Those bastards.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next thing about the convention. I want to talk about the mazes that were there. I think you should probably start this off, Chris, because I will probably go into a much deeper end. That way they can see what I'm seeing. Go for it, Chris.
Okay, well, I'll start with the pros. It was cool because it looked like it was a homemade, like they did out of their garage. They might even done it at their garage, these short maze demos or whatever you want to call it. I can't remember specific themes. One looked like a cabin. It did have the name Crystal Lake, but it didn't say, oh, this is based on Friday the 13th or anything. We didn't get a chance to go in to check it out because the line was super long. And okay.
Yeah, I think they take like those themed out of horror movies and just switch it and just make it into like their own story. Because I read like some descriptions of like, oh, this is what the maze you're going to be going into, and this is like the story you're going to be walking through.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I didn't see it because it was not super dark, but, dimly dark for, just to fit the Halloween mood. Another one I noticed, which I'm surprised Universal beat Universal to it, was making a maze based on this weird cult movie called Donnie Darko. It's, if you don't know what that is, look it up. But it's basically some guy that sees in his head this man wearing a creepy rabbit costume. And the fact that these guys did a maze out of that would have been cool to check out. It would hopefully have been worth 20 minutes to wait in the line, but we didn't get the chance to go into that. But it's okay. I'm not complaining.
Okay, so were you done with the pros? Were you about to go into your cons, or were you still discussing about the pros?
I'm still discussing. Another thing, I just like the way the area they decorated the whole area. You see the fake pumpkins, pumpkin patch are glowing. Those plastic ones glowing. I did like that guy that was selling his handmade glowing pumpkins, especially because one of them was about the celebrities that commit suicide, and I recognized the one because I grew up with Lincoln Park. I did like the Chester Bennington pumpkin head. I wish I had that $200 to buy that crap. I'm saying that in a good way, but I didn't do it. But I took a picture, so that's better. And I'm finished with my side of the story. Your turn.
Okay, before I go into my story, if you want to look at these photos, I know I didn't put them on the video, but you can actually go into our Facebook page and Instagram page. If you follow us, you'll actually see those photos from the event. We took like a bunch of them, so I hope you enjoy it. It's Out of This World Entertainment Podcast, just to let you know. All right, let's go over the pros and cons of the mazes that I experienced. I think the pros, I know we only went in one maze, but I loved how the decoration inside was magnificent. I love the electronic animals that were in there. There was like kind of like a plant eater that was kind of moving around on its own. I think someone was controlling it. I think that was just clever. And I love the atmosphere of it, but that was just my only pro. Everything that Chris said, that was basically like the pro I was going to say as well. For my cons, I think the only thing is I think they should have just put 3 mazes, because we waited in line for 20 minutes for each, well, just for that one maze, and it was kind of getting long for the rest of them. And once you go through, it's only for like, what, 10, 15 seconds. Yeah, and around that, there's only just like one scare actor in each one of those mazes.
Actually, I caught 2. When we went inside, I saw this guy wearing a monster costume. It was, covered neon patches. But since I was right beside you, I can clearly see him coming out of the wall, not so convincingly, and just try to scare the couple next to you. And then, of course, we saw the other guy in the monster costume passing through that animatronic plant.
Oh, all right. I must be so blind. I don't know. There was like there was like some tour guide guiding us, and that didn't really make it more fun. They were like, this is what you're going to go through, blah, blah, blah.
Thank God Face Off, the show, did a better tour guide in their past season finale. So, yeah, that's tour guide. Tried her best, but the fact that it was just like a 10 or 15 minute thing, it really wasn't all that.
Yeah, it didn't really scare me because I knew something was up. I'm like, okay, that's not going to really scare me at all. But those are just my pros and cons. Everything. If you were to make a maze, like to keep a line that long, I would just go with 2 to 3 mazes tops, and kind of make it a little bit bigger, like for like what, a good minute.
Yeah, I would say a good minute, really, especially if you're forced to stand there for 20 or 30 minutes, God forbid, especially in the VIP lines. You gotta have your money's worth if you think about it.
Like, I would have tried, like, if I were to tell them something, trying to make it like Knott's or Universal, like those types of kind of mazes.
Yeah, they do it better. Or even, well, they're not mazes, but my cousin showed me other haunted house attractions, and they do a lot better job and scaring the crap out of people and making it, of course, more entertaining and getting your money's worth.
See, those I would actually enjoy, and I would actually be scared of, because that's the fun of it. And who wouldn't have fun like being scared like on a Halloween like night?
Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, it just didn't really fit with me, this one.
Nathan, if you're listening to this, I'm talking about you and not being scared.
Oh God, unfortunately you're so right.
Okay, well, let's move on. I want to talk about the panel that we went to. So, the panel that we actually went to, we only went to one because we didn't really have time to go to each one. And the other one we actually wanted to go to was actually presented on Sunday. But the one that we went to was the Elvira, the 30th anniversary of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And I enjoyed it. Chris enjoyed it. But it did get pretty crowded really quickly. So thank God we were there early.
Yeah, definitely. Thank God we were there early, because the next thing I noticed, a whole crap of people were just coming in. It was just so much.
Oh, yeah. I walked to the back of the line. It was going all the way to one side of the convention. We were upstairs, by the way. All the way to one side upstairs. And then they actually went downstairs from there and then continued on from there. I was like, what the what?
I was surprised that ballroom was big enough to hold all those people in.
I know, right? But anyway, let's talk about the panel. This actually represented the 30th anniversary for a Blu-ray release, and we actually got a little sneak peek preview of some special features and interviews that they were talking about the film, and Elvira, as beautiful as ever, or if you want to call her that, if you want to call her Elvira or Cassandra Peterson, that's actually her real name. If you don't know it, then I think you need to get on the computer quickly and look her up.
Definitely, but the way you said it, again, it sounds perverted. Just kidding.
Giggity, giggity.
Shut up.
Okay. Yeah, she came on stage. Everybody was all cheering and excited. I think I heard one guy saying, "Marry me!"
Wait, you did? Oh, yeah, you did.
You know who that guy was? The perverted guy next to me. Not Chris.
Fuck you.
Hey, I didn't say you. I said a perverted guy next to me.
I heard what you said, but moving on. The panel, it was just fun to be sitting down in. Everybody was laughing, clapping, and Cassandra Peterson being just her lovable self, telling how making the movie was a good experience during her career.
Oh, yeah. She was telling about that, and then she was telling about some of the things that happened on the set, and then some of the places that she went, behind the scenes of Universal. I think they moved her to Warner Brothers just for a particular scene, because I guess during the tour, it was just too much distraction.
Oh, yeah. They still do that today, the Universal tours. When you're working on a movie, you're going to encounter people in the tour tram or VIP walking around the set, and you're going to get interrupted no matter what.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, she had a good time on the set. She was mentioning some other part of the stories in her life, when she met somebody on the set, they were trying to track this person, see how they were doing. And it took for a while. I think she hasn't found that person yet. And then she was talking about another story of how Jerry Seinfeld came into the picture. And I don't know what the hell happened there, but I'm not going to spoil it because it was part of a panel. I think there's a YouTube video of it up now. I was planning on checking it out again because it was pretty funny.
I haven't checked it out, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's on YouTube by now.
Yeah, but either way, everybody had a good time. She had a really amazing time. She was still there doing autographs, taking photos, and all that. She's really nice. And you know what? I'll actually meet her again, but at Monsterpalooza.
Yeah, do that, dude. Don't expect it to be a short line, so you have to be there even if the booth is empty.
Oh, yeah, I know. Just wait there patiently and go la, 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 la.
I think, yeah, that's what people would do in your shoes.
The interesting about Elvira, because she is so big with her movies, her hosting career on a TV show that she did. She did a pilot for a sitcom, but then it grew and grew and grew. And then all of a sudden at this convention, there was this cafe called Elvira Cafe. Yeah, I pointed out, I showed it to Chris, there's an Elvira Cafe here.
Man, all the time seeing Cassandra Peterson's booth, especially at Monsterpalooza. I didn't think they had a good spot because hey, Elvira, let's make that one to an Elvira's Cafe. Promote people.
What really interested me about this cafe was there was like some food items that had cotton candy little wigs on top of that food. And I was like, so they're eating her. They're devouring her. That's kind of fucked up, but fuck it. I'm hungry.
You didn't even buy any of their food.
It looks so delicious. I was like dripping drool, and I was like,
yeah, I'll tell someone that's walking past me, oh, don't worry, my friend just got the case of rabies.
Yeah, but the panel, we had fun at the panel. Everybody did. There was like so many people with like the heart-shaped symbols that were making with hand gestures. It was kind of funny, but I heard that one guy that said, "Marry me." That was hilarious. I was like, no, she should marry me. I'm younger.
Yeah, you would say that. You almost did.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised this panel didn't do a Q&A.
No, surprisingly, there was no Q&A. It was just all interview, see clips, and that's it.
Maybe everybody already knows the answer to everything.
Well, yeah, basically. I mean, I see her Monsterpalooza, and when she does the panels over there, I'm pretty sure they ask the same thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But anyway, what else happened there? Let's see. Let's talk about the people that we met. I know we met Robert Stephen Ryan. If I'm pronouncing that wrong again, please comment below. But anyway, we met him. We wish we met Elvira. But you know how her booth is. Crap load of people waiting in line, sweating and nervously. Let's see. Chris, you actually introduced me to this person a while ago. That was like years ago. I was surprised she remembered you. And if you don't know who we're talking about Leanna Vamp. She is a professional cosplayer. I guess people call her the Queen of Cosplay or the next Queen of Darkness. I don't know how she would prefer it, but she'll basically call you a fiend, like another version of friend.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was just a way of going. It was near the end of the day. We decided to make one more walk around the exhibit area. And then I noticed her booth, and I thought, it's been, God knows how long. I know it felt like a long time since I've just seen and chatted with her. So we just went up to her booth, and yeah, I was surprised that she saw us. So obviously looked at us to see what we're going to buy, what we're going to buy for my table. But yeah, it was crazy that she remembered me. So that was a good thing. I mean, after seeing a lot of people for all these every convention, every year, every month, you think they oh yeah, I remember you. Not really. Who are you? That didn't happen, but it was a nice conversation. You gave her one of her business cards too, so that went well.
Oh yeah, Chris and Liana had a nice little chit chat about like, what are you doing? Kind of doing this podcast with him, me, by the way, and we started talking about like my podcast of like, well, what do we talk about? We just talk about all the world of comics. Like we talk about comic books, video games, conventions. If we go to one, we talk about how the day went, and she was interested. I gave her a business card. I took a photo with her. Chris didn't. I don't know why. I wish you have. That way we just, she'll go, oh, it's this guy. He got a photo.
Honestly, the thought never passed through my head.
What does pass through your head?
You don't want to know.
Dun 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 dun. But anyway, she's really nice. She's very creative. But don't be expecting a single life of her life. She's already taken. She's married. So, sorry, fellas. Yeah. Yeah, I gave her a business card, and that's it. We just left after that.
Yeah, pretty much. But, would you go back again?
To Midsummer Scream? Yeah, I would definitely go back. I had a good time saying all the all the exhibits and then all the booths. That one panel, I want to check out more panels from that event. Yeah, I really did enjoy. I know you had a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I equally like this place and Monsterpalooza. So next year, I think I'll probably go to both of them again. So I had a good time.
And isn't like Monsterpalooza like different from Midsummer Scream? Like that convention's more about the horror movies, and I know Midsummer Scream is like the convention of Halloween spirit.
That's pretty much it, the way you just said it. But yeah, Monsterpalooza is about the movies and the people that were involved and made it, mostly the makeup effects artists. While Midsummer Scream is about the Halloween spirit. You do see some celebrities. There was one actress from Halloween Town from the Disney Channel era. And other minor celebrities over there. Of course, Cassandra Peterson. Well, that's just the main difference. One side is about movie making. The other is just Halloween spirit.
Yeah. Far out, I like this convention. I also liked Monsterpalooza, but either way, I'm a convention goer, so you'll pretty much find me anywhere. All right. Was there anything else would you like to say about the convention?
No, I feel like we talked about it enough. Anything you want to add? I think I'm all good.
Yeah, I'm pretty much good. All right, I think we're just going to wrap it up here. This is Out of This World Entertainment. I am your host, Tyler Alanis.
Chris Garcia.
And remember, when October comes, make sure you listen to the Monster Mash. Good night, everybody.